guys, how are you doing today? I'm doing pretty fantastic. Thank you for asking. I'm really hyper right now. This is fine. I'm home. I came up with an idea about a month ago of a video I should do because I've been traumatized by so many things in my life. So many things. So I thought I'd make a video about it. Because that's, you know, that's what I do. I share my life on the internet when I probably shouldn't. My mom warned me not to do this, but here I am. I would do things like traumatize as an adult, but that's every single day, let's be real. Something that traumatized me as a kid were wasps. Every day in Texas, there would be like 50 new wasps just around. Just around. Be like, oh, that's not Frederick? Oh, that's Billiard. Billiard, hello. Thought you'd be William, but I guess you're Billiard. Oh, hey, Susan. Needless to say, there was a lot of wasps. I think I was like 4 years old. And one day my mom was like, hey, like it rained the other night, let's go fill the swimming pool. You can go cool off because it was like 106 degrees. And I was like, yeah. So I run outside. So I was in it splashing around. And the next thing I know, I had this insanely painful like sting under my armpit. The only thing my 4-year-old mind could come up with to do was this. And of course, being 4 years old and the crybaby that I was, I screamed on the top of my lungs. And my mom came running over screaming, what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong? And as I lifted my arm, the red wasp was still there, just chilling. It just wanted to keep stinging me. Now, wasps aren't like bees where they sting you and they die. No, wasps are just angry motherfuckers that want to hurt you. Because they're bitches. Every time there's a wasp now, or there's a bee, or anything that could sting me, I just run. I just, bye. Do you guys remember the game, or did you have a sibling that had the game Ape Escape? My brother Garrett had the game Ape Escape, and he loved that game. He loved it more than anything, and I thought, you know, oh, it's cool. So the monkeys kind of freaked me out a little bit. They looked like this, and this is kind of freaky for, you know, like an 8-year-old. In Ape Escape, there's this one level of where you go inside of like a dinosaur or something, and you have to like go in its intestines and in its stomach. And for some reason, every time I think of that, it's so scary to me. It's horrifying. Like at the time and the memories I have of it, like I saw the game Ape Escape in a store the other day and I left because I was like, I'm not fucking touching this game. I'm not going anywhere near this game. Do not show me this game ever again, GameStop. I ain't having it. Do you remember that game? Did it scare you too? Not just me? Okay. One of the most traumatic things for me, besides wasps, besides Ape Escape, is vomit. I hate vomit. I hate everything that involves it. It's my biggest fear of all time. And you think, oh, Kate, I thought germs were your biggest fear. You say you wash your hands like 3 times before you eat and all this other crazy stuff. Your hands are super dry because you always wash your hands. Yes, but no. If you got sick, if you puked because the weather changed or whatever, I would not wash my hands this much. Like, cause the correlation between germs and vomit is too close for me. And I know, oh, but you're supposed to get germs in your body and then you can fight off stuff. You're supposed to build your immune system. That's the thing what people tell me. When I was 7 years old, I threw up everywhere. It's not the first time I've thrown up, and like throw up to me before that was like gross. Like I was like, ew, I'm sick. But it was never something I was afraid of until I was 7. And I threw up 12 times in the span of like 15 minutes. And it was like everywhere, and I slept walked to the toilet, but I just couldn't stop. And then like I had to be taken to the hospital, but we were on an island, and so we had to get on a boat, and they had to take me to the hospital. And then we got in the hospital, and I could just lay there because I couldn't stand up. I was so weak. And they put me on a bed, and they had to put IVs in me. I finally fell asleep. And the next thing I know, I'm waking up at my aunt's house watching Mary-Kate and Ashley Detectives or whatever the NASA one was as well. Ever since then, I have been terrified of puke. I don't know why. Even if it's in like Family Guy, I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. This one's kind of self-explanatory. I'm traumatized from The Wizard of Oz. No, not the flying monkeys. Flying monkeys didn't bother me, no. You'd think so because of Ape Escape, but no. Ape Escape was scarier. Wizard of Oz scared me because of the Green Witch. The Wicked Witch of the West. She scared the living daylights out of me. I don't know why. Maybe it was because her skin was green. Maybe it's because of the really pointy chin or the nose and the hair or the I don't know what it was, but I watched it once and cried so hard my mom threw away the VHS. Another thing that traumatized me is Barney. Do you remember Barney? Of course you remember Barney. Everyone remembers Barney. I loved Barney. Barney was my life. My absolute life. He was the love of my life. He was the purple dinosaur that I loved. And I had a stuffed animal of him. And one day I was in my playroom and I was playing with Barney. The clouds like covered the sun very quickly. And in the TV show, you know, something would happen before Barney turned into real life. Like the clouds going over the sun or whatever. And so while I was playing with Barney, the clouds went over the sun and I stood back and I was like, he didn't, but it still traumatized me. Another thing that traumatized me was the Crunch chocolate bar. I think we've all had these. You know, it's got the Rice Krispies in the middle. It's just a chocolate bar. They're pretty delicious. When I was growing up, I was not allowed to have food in my room for obvious reasons, because you're a kid, you can't have food in your room, you're gonna forget, and there's gonna be ants everywhere. You know, being the super rebellious child that I was, I hid a Crunch chocolate bar in my nightstand. Just one, because I didn't want to be too rebellious, you know. So that Crunch bar was in my nightstand for like a good 2 months. And you know, candy lasts a really long time, so whatever. But it was in there for a while. Then one night, I woke up and I was like, dude, I want that Crunch bar. I open up the nightstand and I pull it out. It's pitch black dark, but I know what a Crunch bar feels like. So I rip it open, take a big bite out of it, and the whole thing starts crackling in my mouth. And I sit there like this. Because Crunch bars aren't supposed to crackle. My first thought was, it's got ants all over it. I have ants all over my tongue. Holy crap, I have ants in my mouth. And so I ran to the bathroom and spat it out. And I looked in the sink and it was still crackling. And I was like, there's no ants. Why is this crackling? Is it a bad Crunch bar? Am I poisoned? And I looked on the wrapper and it was Crunch with Pop Rocks. Who does this? Who does this? I cannot eat Crunch bars anymore because of that one night. The one night I had a magician curse my Crunch bar. I grew up very, very sheltered. I was very sheltered. Like, I wasn't allowed to watch PG movies until I was like 15. I wasn't allowed to watch PG-13 movies until I was like 18. I think my first R-rated movie I watched was The Passion of the Christ, and I still like looked away half the time. My dad was at a friend's house and they were watching some alien movie. I later found out it was actually Alien. Here's the thing, my parents never really explained to me that movies aren't real. They was like, oh, just put in a movie, she'll be fine. So they never really explained like, hey Kate, you can't blue skidoo into the TV. The TV will fall on top of you. Hey Kate, the Muppets Treasure Island isn't real. The boy you're so in love with can't hear you telling him how much you love him. I was over at my parents' like friend's house or something and they had Alien on the TV. And the time I walked by was when an alien was coming out of someone's stomach. And that horrified me because I thought it was real. I thought that could happen to anyone. And how could that happen to someone? Oh, obviously he was on his back. So if you sleep on your back, you're gonna get an alien inside of you. So guess who never slept on her back again? Guess who still, to this day, does not sleep on her back? Now it's not because of the movie, but at the time, it was the most horrifying thing ever. So those are some of the things that traumatized me as a kid. I'm sure there's others, but I just can't think of it right now because my mind is just thinking about the alien and then Ape Escape, and I've just brought up all these repressed memories that I wanted to forget about and not be traumatized by. I have to go see a therapist now. Why did I do this? Why did I think this was a good idea? I don't fucking know. Let me know in the comments, what are you traumatized by? What have you been traumatized by? Thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked it. Thank you for giving it a thumbs up. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for leaving a comment. Thank you for just watching in general and being a lurker. I am a lurker too. Don't even worry about it. Anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope you have a fantastic day and all the fun stuff. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. Goodbye!